it's not about the way you look, it's not about not being able to dress yourself, apart from in one very specific Star Trek t-shirt case. It's more about sort of social ineptitude, I think. You can't really sort of function in the same way that other people seem to. So you throw yourself into your hobbies, you throw yourself into fiction or music or whatever it is you're into. And I think that's what it's about. And I've got that in spades. I cannot socially interact at all. I'm really bad at it, especially when it comes to women. My chat-up technique tends to be walking up to somebody, handing them a note, saying, "There's my phone number, there's a poem on the back, disregard it, it's not for you." I don't know what it is. It's like, I get this thing, it's like dating Tourette's. You try and say the right thing, but everything that spills out your mouth is inappropriate bullshit. I was on a date a few years ago with this girl, and she told me her surname was Christie, and I immediately said, "Oh, like the cancer hospital." Yeah, she didn't like that. But I think I get into too much trouble about the things that I say rather than the way I act. You know, I think women place too much importance on my words, and I don't think it's fair, because I know guys who get away with dreadful behaviour. I know one guy who cheats on his girlfriend. He goes to strip clubs. He steals. I know a guy who actually steals from his girlfriend. He takes money from her purse and she stays with him. I once, under duress, admit that if it was cooked right and I trusted the chef would eat a baby, all of a sudden I'm not boyfriend material. Doesn't seem fair somehow. I should probably, you know what, actually, I tried really hard to write some Doctor Who jokes for this, and I couldn't even come up with anything, not even the fact that I look vaguely like David Tennant. There was nothing. I've been told by many people. I've got nothing on it. The best I could do was, I came up with one time travel joke, so we're going to try out on you, and it's fucking shit. So brace yourselves. I'll tell you the thing I hate about time travel. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, oh, it's that thing where you accidentally cause a space-time paradox and the whole fabric of reality unravels around you. It's not that, it's the jet lag. Yeah, that's it. It's the whole fucking job. I don't know, I've no idea how long I've been up here. It could have been an hour. I do apologise. I'm going to wrap up briefly. I'll tell you this just very, very quickly before I go, because it's one of my favourite jokes. I am mentally ill. Not in a dangerous way, don't panic. But I am. And this is a good example of quite how mental I am. I was driving a few months ago through the centre of town, just down Washrow Road, actually. And I looked in the rearview mirror to see Robert De Niro was sat in the back seat of my car. And I turned around to look, and he wasn't actually in the back seat at all, he was just in the rearview mirror. So I didn't really know what to do, so I pulled in, had a bit of a panic attack about it, kept looking, he was still there, staring back at me. I thought, you know what, just forget it, ignore it, it's not happening, just drive off, pretend it's not happening. So I did, and I just pretended it wasn't going on. And then a couple of days later, I was driving again. I forget where I was. I do a lot of driving, I'm very lazy. And I looked in the rearview mirror to see that there were now two Robert De Niros sat in the back seat of my car. And again, I didn't really know what to do, so I panicked and just sort of ignored it, pretended it wasn't happening. But this kept happening over a period of weeks, to the point where there were so many Robert De Niros in my rearview mirror that I couldn't see out the back window anymore. So I thought, right, I've got to get this sorted out. So I took the car down to the mechanic, and he put a new mirror on. It's fine now. It's my favourite joke. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been absolutely adorable. I've been Mark J. Dolan. Thanks very much.
Life stories from the extraordinary life of Mark Strickland. So I was in Huddersfield swimming pool change room the other day. Yes, I was. I'm the only person in the world who has their annual holiday in Huddersfield. It's just what my parents live. And I live in New Zealand, so I have my annual holiday in Huddersfield. And I was there, and there were two little boys, and they said, "You're on telly, aren't you?" And I said, no, I'm not. I'm not on telly anymore. I was telling the truth. They said, "Here you are. You're on the bill." Now, who do I look like off the bill? Because this has happened to me all the time. Jim Carver. Is he ruining sex with? Why I reckon would they think I look like Jim off the bill?
It's ginger.
I'm so fucking ginger. So that's a ginger one. And then I look like everybody else. Right, I live in New Zealand at the moment. Next stop Antarctica, right? Literally, next stop Antarctica. You go into the club where I live in Dunedin, and all the menus are signed by Scott and these people who died. You know, they went off to Antarctica. And And we had this little cottage, sort of 10 minutes out of the town. There's a really poor place you go to. Now, they don't fuck around, Australians and New Zealanders, right? You don't go to an off-licence to buy booze. You go to a bottle shop. That's what they call them there, right? You go and buy your bottles at a bottle shop, right? So I was in this bottle shop, and there was a bar next to it. And went into the bottle shop, and I was looking around for a six-pack of small cider bottles. I'm a big drinker, and I like my cider. And anyway, there's this big disturbance in the bar, and this woman, she can hear it going like that, right? And there's like 3 of them come through into the bottle shop. Now, there's some singer I look like, some American singer.
Brian Adams.
Brian Adams, that's it. I look like fucking everybody in the world, it would have been, right? So anyway, so she comes through and she goes, "You're Brian Adams, aren't you?" So I go, "Well look, work it out. We're in a poverty-stricken suburb of a small town in the South Island of New Zealand, next up Antarctica, and I'm buying a 6-pack of cider. Am I likely to be Brian Adams?" Well, you are, aren't you? I said, "No, I'm not fucking Brian Adams. I could earn a fortune if I had like 48 Brian Adams 10x8s to sign." So, but after the break, we'll have somebody you do know, which is Charlie. So, senior member Charlie Ross will be a warm-up act after the break. Have yourselves a beer for 10 minutes, and we'll be back. Love you all. But that's not a big part of our life. When I first started at Notting Hill, we got flown around the world, and we got put in stretch limos and things as we were going to the States. And Deborah Watling went on her first appearance to the States with me, and I've been about 9 or 10 times, and I said, "Deborah, be cool. A stretch limo is going to meet you. We'll have champagne as we drive into Kansas City, as it happens. And just stay cool, right?" She arrived at Heathrow Airport in a fur coat, high heels, and she looked $1 million. She looked really beautiful. And so we got on the plane and had a nice time, and got off, and there it was. The Pounder Blue stretch limo was there. Really, it was like a dream. And got in the back of it, Kansas City, and poured some champagne. And I should say we'd been going 10 minutes on the freeway before we ran out of petrol. This is not a joke, this is a real life story. It gets really tragic, this story, alright. And so the driver, who was called Frank, had no money. So I had changed like some money, I had $100 in my back pocket. So he gave me one of those little red petrol cans. Right? Well, I've missed a bit of the story. By this time it was slightly snowing. And I had to get out with Frank whilst Deborah drove the stretch limo. We had to push it off the freeway. So we push it off the freeway. I then walk for a mile up the freeway, and I get some petrol, hitch a lift back, and we eventually get to the hotel, right? So the next morning, right, we're supposed to do, it's Doctor Who's shown in public broadcasting in the States, right? So you go to the station, and people have to pay to watch it. So you go and say, "Hi, I'm Mark Strickson, I'm on Doctor Who with Peter Davison as the Doctor, and if you like this great programming on PBS Kansas City, then you donate, please donate, because otherwise you're going to lose it." You know, but whatever, you do some shit like that. So anyway, so we get out, Frank picks us up in the Pounder Blue stretch limo. And we've been gone, I would say, about 2 minutes before we ploughed into the back of a VW Beetle. And we pretty much wrote it off and gave everybody a whiplash. So, in America, if you're a witness to an accident, right, you have to go to the police station. So we went to the police station, right? But we haven't got our passports with us. Apparently, if you're involved, I don't get this, if you're involved in an accident in these states and you're a foreigner, it's illegal not to have your passport on you. Well, how do you know you're going to be involved in an accident? Did you leave the hotel saying, I'm going to have an accident today, I think I'll take my passport with me? No, you don't! Of course you fucking don't! Right, so we spent 2 hours in the police station. We got back, the last thing we wanted to see was Frank ever again in our life, right? And we didn't see Frank for 2 days, but when we went to the airport at the end of it, we came out of the hotel and there was the powder blue stretch. Oh, no. I should say Frank wasn't a Doctor Who fan, he was a Kane person. He was supposed to be able to drive a car. So we set off for the airport, we get on the freeway, and suddenly, the limo slews to the left, Frank vomits all over the windscreen. This is true, right? This is true. And we pull in on the side of the freeway, right? And, you know, like you've got like a London taxi, I used to like pull this last bit like that, right? And Frank, we watch as Frank mops the vomit off the windscreen. And sort of like squeeze his tissues out. And then we set off, right? And Frank's like sort of waving through the glass, and so I open the glass and the smell of vomit. And Frank said, I'm really sorry about that, guys, but I got a bit of an stomach at the moment. And so I say, as politely as I can, Frank, just fucking drive us to the airport. The hell ride has to stop at some point. So there's a silence for about 2 minutes, and then Frank comes out with the unforgettable line. Did you guys try any of our drive-in barbecues whilst you were in Kansas City? And at that point, everyone goes, fuck, son, shut up! Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Charlie Ross will warm us up for the rest of the evening.
Hello. A big hand for your compere, Mark Strickson. I wasn't supposed to be doing it tonight. I'm a little bit tired, a little bit drunk, but it's okay, we'll get there. I'm a strange Doctor Who fan. Unlike, I don't know, some of you, I like football, which I take it. I know, it's bizarre, isn't it? But it paid off about 2 years ago, because I was sitting watching a Falkirk versus Rangers Football Club match on television. And I didn't know much about Falkirk at the time, didn't pay much attention to it, but it came, my ears were pricked up when I heard the Falkirk goalkeeper's name was Kroll, right? He was from Denmark, yes. But my ears were further pricked up about half an hour later when the goalkeeper for Falkirk came out as the ball was crossed over, and he launched himself at the ball and he rose 2 feet above every striker and defender and punched the ball 40 yards, and I shit you not, the commentator said they just couldn't handle the power of Kroll. I really wanted some of the subs to be called Armageddon, I really did. Are they going to handle the Armageddon factor? And it's all going to be solved by the key to injury time. Yeah, but it's cool. I mean, I literally drove. I was doing a gig in London last night. I drove back up of London. I left my gig at 10:15 last night and drove all the way up to Manchester to be with you here tonight. And it's good to be here. And a funny thing, because it's funny, I was down in Manchester, I went to London, and one of the weird things in London is being on the tube. It's always a traumatic experience being on London's Underground. Has anyone been in London's Underground? It's always traumatic. And this weekend was bizarre, because I had a really bizarre experience, because being Scottish, and I jumped onto a tube, onto a train, and when I got on the train, no sooner had I set foot on this crowded Piccadilly line than I felt a frog in my throat appear, and I felt this insatiable desire to cough. Now, if you're Scottish this week, and you want to cough in an enclosed area, it's not a particularly good idea, right? So I'm trying to hold this cough in, and at this point, and I couldn't hold it in anymore, and I released a coughing fit that would frighten the French, and I may as well have been wearing a Scotland World Cup top and a fucking sombrero, for crying out loud. And at this point, I was saved, and I shit you not, I was saved by a guy. Now, there's always these guys, these wankers that think they can pass through solid objects, okay? As the doors close in the underground. This guy ran in, and he jumped on, just made it as the doors were about to close. And as he stood there, he smiled at everyone. Yes, I made it. But with a stunning lack of self-spatial awareness, forgot he had a rucksack on behind him. And the doors closed behind him. And as the doors closed, he went like this. Just hanging there. So he quickly realised and panicked and pulled the rucksack off. And we turned around and there's the whole carriageway watching him. And he went to pull the two straps and he gave him a good yank. And the two straps came right off in his hand as he watched the rest of the rucksack going through onto the platform as the train moved away. It was brilliant. It was fantastic. But yeah, I'm a real Doctor Who fan, ladies and gentlemen, because no, you don't know what I'm about to say. Because you know, well, we all have attractions, and we all fancy people, and I fancy strange kind of women. I fancy strange girls. The kind of girls I fancy have short hair, flat chests, and a cock, and therefore I'm a proper Doctor Who fan. What is all this nonsense I hear of comedians coming up here claiming to be Doctor Who fans and saying they fancy women? I shan't be having that. Yes, yeah, I do. And it was strange because when I was a kid, I used to be a PE teacher, which some of you know, and I used to be a PE teacher because my big decision in life was whether to go to PE college or go to drama college. And when I was 15, 16, when you're brought up in the centre of Glasgow and you realise this is happening to you, I decided I would go to PE college. I thought I'd go to drama college and we'll think of a big poof. So I'll go to PE college and that'll butch me up and make me straight. So I spent 4 years shouting with naked footballers. That helped. And it took me a long time to come to terms with it. I was a terrible heterosexual. I really was a really bad heterosexual. I had a girlfriend when I was at university. I went to study and I had a girlfriend for a short while. And the only reason I had this girlfriend was because she had a poster of Tom Cruise on her wall in her room. And it kind of helped in certain scenarios. And I used to use any excuse to not have sex with this girl. She would ask me, and I would say, oh, I've got an essay to do, or I've got a cold, or Doctor Who's on, anything, you know. Even Delta and the Bannerman was used as an excuse once. And nobody wanted to watch that. So I finally I thought, well, I may as well find out what this is all about, right? So I finally did something about it, and I went up to the room, and so I said, well, go to your room. So we went to her room, and the post Tom Cruise on the wall, so we're getting kind of down to it, and we're kind of going for it, Tom Cruise, right, okay. And I'm thinking in my head, you know, Top Gun, right, Top Gun, volleyball scene, you know, come on, and she's lying by there, she's going, kiss my chest, and I said, kiss my chest, I'm trying to kiss your chest, but your tits keep getting in the way. So I finally did something about it, and I thought being a PE teacher at the time would be kind of cool and help me get laid, you know, and help me get a shag. But it was strange because I thought that, you know, I would go away to a gay club and guys would chat me up, and I got a strange reaction every single time, because every single time that someone would chat me up, I would say, you know, yes, well actually, I'm a PE teacher, and every one of them went, I've been hated PE at school then, pissed off at me. Realised I was their nemesis, so after 2 weeks I was so desperate to get laid, I said it was a hairdresser just to fucking get on with it. But yeah, but a great thing happened to me about a year ago. I was doing a gig in London, and I had this one night stand, and are there any gay people in? Yeah. Aye, right, okay, come on. Yeah. A bit of a slow response there. Johnny Ainsworth sort of shyly the hand was flashed up there in the blink. I know they were getting it's like fucking Dead Poets Society now, you know? Standing on tables. Yeah, but yes, that's funny, the 2 people in here who have shagged never admitted it. So anyway, but yes, I had a one-night stand about a year ago, and I woke up in the morning, and I realised when I woke up, it was a bit of a beer goggle scenario, you know, it was a bit like Lord of the Rings, you know, so I woke up, and was like, oh, I'm starving, you know, it's like, I don't know, so he asked me for my phone number, and I did that really shitty thing that guys sometimes do, when I gave my phone number, but I changed the last digit at the end. But don't do that, because karma will come around to you, it really will. Because about 6 months later, I was getting a flight from London to Glasgow, and I went on this flight and clipped myself in. I looked up, and there he was. He was a steward on the flight, right? Oh fuck! So he walked by. I thought, well, I'll try and make eye contact with him as he goes by, and he was having none of it. So I thought, that's good. Maybe he's going to ignore me. But then at the end of the flight, he did something, ladies and gentlemen, that will stay with me till the day I die. If you imagine, sir, that you're me, okay, trying to be slightly more handsome for a second, and as he was going along the aisle with the rubbish bag, he was going along the aisle with the rubbish bag, and he was going, rubbish, rubbish, any rubbish, 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 any rubbish, trash, rubbish, any rubbish. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a long day for me, and thankfully for me is finally over. You've got some fantastic acts coming up. Thank you for coming up and showing us. Thank you. Good night. Thank you.
You see, I'm learning about comedy, right? Does anybody here interested in football? It's fantastic! That's going to be my new opening line to everybody here, my parents. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to keep moving tonight because they're going to let the Honourable General Public in at 10 o'clock. So Chris Stokes is next on our list. Yes, am I right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Big round of applause. It's Chris in the house. Yes, he is.
Thank you, that's really nice. It's nice being in a room full of a load of fans, because I'm pretty sure we'll all agree we have our own logic. Like for example, my friend wouldn't watch the third Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film because to him the idea of them going back in time to 17th century Japan was a bit far-fetched. He was fine with 4 6-foot adolescent mutated turtles running around New York who can afford to not only buy but also run and insure a van. Can do martial arts to quite a considerable degree because, well, they're ninjas, aren't they? And as far as a rat. But if you introduce the concept of fourth dimensional travel into this cocktail of fact, his imagination implodes. A lot like he did when he watched the film Shaun of the Dead, right? Which I'm assuming we've all seen. Well, you know that bit where they shuffle through the hordes of the undead and pretend to be zombies so they don't get eaten? You went, that bit ruined it for me, Chris. That bit ruined it for me. Because zombies can smell humans in real life. But this is the same guy that rang a radio phoning quiz and was asked for £1,000 which country uses shekels for currency. Now some of you probably know that. He guessed at Holland. And the DJ, who just wanted him to win the money, just wanted to help, said, it is a bit of a bad line. Did you say Israel? He said no. If you were to take a penguin chocolate bar, as I have done, and read the joke under the flap, watch black and white, and goes round and round to him, he'd look at you and say, breakdancing penguin. But upon correcting him with the actual answer, which is a penguin in a revolving door, he'd go, breakdancing penguin's better. What would a penguin be doing using a revolving door? But then he does think that Loughborough is pronounced Luga-Bruga. I think it's weird because I met him at school and we were both Doctor Who fans, but I'm at a sort of limbo age where I really got into it and it was taken off. So I started off at school being bullied for being a Doctor Who fan because it was nerdy, and then I finished school being bullied for liking Doctor Who because no one knew what it was. And I remember once, this is true, I was very small for my age, and I was hung on a coat peg from the back collar of my jumper like that. And it was at lunchtime. I was there for a while. The dinner lady found me. First thing she said was, "You're not supposed to be inside at this time." So I have got a couple of, because it's a bit weird, right? Because we're all comics, we do a lot of regular gigs, but we never really do Doctor Who material. We thought, we've been booked to do this, we think we should probably write some Doctor Who material. So I've written some. I'm going to try it. Yeah, exactly. If you don't like it, it really doesn't affect my career whatsoever. So I'm going to go for it. I mean, like, I'm assuming we're all on the Doctor Who forum, formerly Outpost Gallifrey. Right? Well, what I find amazing about that is because I go on. I tend not to go on at a post because I'm one of those people that is easily irked by ill-thought-out arguments and bad grammar. But on the one occasion that the odd occasion that I do go on, I actually, the last time I went on, there was a row going on. It was by a user called Longscarf. Don't know whether anybody remembers this. And he was saying, what was it he was saying? He was saying, is anyone really pissed off with the PC casting in Doctor Who? And he was really upset that Mickey and Martha were black. And he was really upset that Captain Jack was a sort of gay icon. Now, I don't understand why a character like the Doctor would appeal to those sensibilities. Do you know what I mean? Oh yeah, that's a really good message. He's letting the aliens live. He's giving them a chance. Aliens and humans living together in peace and harmony. That's a really good message. But his gay and black friends can fuck off. I just don't get it. I've tried. I was thinking, well, I suppose I shouldn't assume that everybody that likes Doctor Who is going to be, well, not a wet noodle, but is going to be somebody that has a fairly open mind. But you kind of have to, don't you? Am I alone in this? You kind of have to accept and be a very open-minded, liberal. Yeah, so I don't understand why he wasn't burned. I was a bit, when I found out that Matt Smith was the new Doctor, I was a little bit, my instant reaction was disappointment, I'll be honest. When I watched that confidential where they announced that Matt Smith was the new Doctor, I thought, oh, so it's not me then. But then reason kicked in, and I thought, oh no, maybe it is me, and I've just forgotten. Because I do feel, the year before last I forgot to send myself a Valentine's card. I won't be doing that again, I was livid. But then reason kicked in, and I thought, no, for that to work, I would have to be Matt Smith and not Chris Stokes, which is who I am. But then reason kicked in, and I thought, Matt Smith's an actor, isn't he? So what's to stop Chris Stokes being a character in a fictional drama about a confused Doctor Who obsessed stand-up comedian? And Matt Smith is playing me in this drama. But then reason kicked in. And I thought, no, for that to work, because into this drama, the real Matt Smith wouldn't be integrated, would he, in the universe where he's already playing a fictional character. That would be too metatextual. A bit like Arnold Schwarzenegger playing both Jack Slater and himself in The Last Action Hero. It'd be too clever. But then reason kicked in. And I thought, oh no, because that's exactly the kind of thing that increasingly pretentious television companies would commission, isn't it? Which is why everybody liked the new Red Dwarf. But then reason kicked in. And I thought, well, if I was a fictional character, how come I have vivid recollections of family holidays in Devon at the age of 4? And then reason kicked in, and I thought, well, that just shows good writing and characterisation to give me a backstory like that. I'd like to thank you. You've been lovely for letting me try material that I'll never try again. So, I think it's been a really great day actually. The highlight of my day was I don't want to brag or anything, but because we do this, we got to go into the backstage area at Tiger Lounge. And and I had a nice sit-down chat with Nicola Bryant, no less. She's promised herself to me. What I find, I don't know whether you noticed, but Nicola Bryant and Sophie Aldred, they both brought their partners with them to conventions. And I think that's a really wise move. Not only because, but I also like the idea that, because they meet each other a lot, I really like, I hope this is true, it's true in my head, that they would sort of stand at the back of the room and try and make eye contact with the geekiest guy in the room, point to their partner and go, oh yeah. You've got a great headliner, you've been lovely. I've been Chris Stokes. Cheers, thank you.